Rebecca's back with a detailed look at ready weather. You can drive from south to north and go through, rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, and 20, 25 miles, I would imagine.
Absolutely. My drive in coming in from the north side was snow,
Right.
and then just a little bit of that freezing rain by the time I hit the station, and then more of the heavy freezing rain and sleet down to the south. And that's why we have the ice storm warnings ongoing for Walworth, Racine, and Kenosha. North of that, it's all a winter storm warning, but even within that winter storm warning, precipitation types will vary. Road conditions starting to go downhill. Interesting to note that just a small part of Kenosha County overall still reporting roads to be okay. They're the warmest throughout the viewing area, so that makes sense. And then up to the north, we've got more of the snow, so that's more of the snow-covered roads that you see there. And in between, we are sandwiched with this wet and icy precipitation. Latest in-house model trend, I really like that. It sends home the message here with this icy precipitation, which will be primarily freezing rain. And notice, as you get just a little bit away from the lake, that's probably where we're going to see our highest freezing rain ice accumulations there. Could be a quarter, a third of an inch, maybe some isolated spots even a little higher. But then notice some of these trace amounts. That's because at times we'll start to see a little sleet mix in with the snow that we have as the dominant precipitation type there. In the end, here's what we're looking for. Heavy snow, 6 to 10 inches. Could see some isolated higher amounts through Fond du Lac and Sheboygan County. And then just south of that, snow and some sleet will mix in there, and that sleet will really cut into snow total, so maybe about 3 to 5 inches. And then along the I-94 corridor back to the west from Milwaukee through Waukesha, we're talking about snow now transitioning to mostly sleet and freezing rain, and a few inches of what will be likely sleet accumulation, because as we have more sleet, once again, that's really going to chop down any snowfall accumulations that we could see there. And then the freezing rain to the tune of about a quarter of an inch, give or take, which could pose some really serious travel issues for icy roads there. Ready Doppler lit up today. You can see some of that heavy snow cutting across the central portions of Wisconsin. The icy precipitation in progress to the south. And as we take you up to the north, I reported earlier, Sheboygan Falls already saying 2 inches of snow there since about 8:30. You can see at times the shades of heavy snow. So even south of that, you've got West Bend under a pretty heavy snow band right now. All this will continue to work to the east, and it's whipping through pretty fast. Then as we take a look at, again, one snow report we have so far, 2 inches in Sheboygan Falls. A lot of those other locations that you see with those snow markers had some of that snow from last night, and for some spots upwards of 4 and even 5 inches. But let's get you into the heart of the viewing area, and this is really kind of the trouble zone just in terms of timing when we could see this wobble from snow to freezing rain and or sleet. And you can see that pink now gets right up over Waukesha, so it's probably more likely more of a fine freezing rain and sleet set up there, but even Milwaukee could still be seeing some heavy flakes here right down to the south side. So this area, just keep in mind, you're probably going to see this wobble a little bit at least through the next couple of hours. Eventually by late afternoon, that freezing rain and sleet line should grow northward just a little bit. But then you've got the ice storm warning counties, and they are seeing freezing rain and sleet, and really maybe even just some plain old rain right up along the lakefront with those strong winds there. Expanding the view, still a very complicated system across the area, still lots of wet weather here. All of this will pass through, and that will keep wet weather in the forecast all the way through Thursday morning. Really cold behind this system. We'll see just a taste of that, but again, most of us will hold tight right here around the freezing mark for the rest of the day. Notice again that kind of rain snow line sits right here, that freezing rain and sleet line, I should say, grows a little further to the north as we get into the night, as that starts to wrap up. And then most of that by Thursday morning does start to wind down. You can see that wet weather here over the next couple of days, with another chance for light snow late on Friday evening, dry over the weekend, and then rain showers with a warmer start to our next week.
Okay, thank you, Rebecca.